Hi, this is Rich. Welcome to my blog. This is Q&A, answering questions that some of our viewers have asked um, about out-of-body experiences, entities, and things like that. So Akvile and I just looked through and grabbed a few real fast. So you got a question here from one of our viewers?
Yeah. So, how do the planets and galaxies in our OBEs are different from what we're taught by the school system here on Earth?
Well, my understanding of it, it depends on which dimension or plane that you shift into. But there's a, excuse me, it's like a real-time double. It, it's a duplicate of this world, exact in every way, except it's in another plane. It's a higher vibrational plane. And when in that world, whether it's out in the galaxies or it's in the backyard, if a rabbit hops across the grass in the backyard, in this physical world, in the real-time double, that same rabbit is hopping around exactly the same way there. So that's one realm. But other realms, the environments are similar but different in many ways. Um, so it would depend on which dimensional plane you're talking about or referring to. And past that, I really wouldn't know any more details about it. And it would just be conjecture. But what are your thoughts, Akvile, on this?
Well, I can tell more by my personal experience since I get out of body a lot. And, when I go out of body and visit different planes and stuff, I'm usually in a realm. It doesn't have a shape or something. Like, I can just go forward for miles and miles and miles and it's not gonna bend. But it doesn't mean that it's flat. I can back out and be in space, and that's just realm. Like, it's a thing. It can be round, it can be flat. It doesn't have to have a shape. It's just there. You put your intention, you go in there. So you can look around, but it doesn't have to be a planet. It doesn't have to be a flat thing. It doesn't have to be a rock. Like, it can just be a place where just is things exist. So for me, it's like we're taught here on Earth like it's planets and things like that, and like cool. You can find those as well, and like a lot of depends on what you believe in as well, because like you can create those places. And for me, like I usually find myself in the realms. I can actually be in spaceships and like go into planets and stuff, but usually I'm in realms. It doesn't have shape.
Yeah. And for me, from a firsthand personal perspective, I've been on spacecraft many times. Sometimes there's the usual, the tall grays or the whites, or the little short grays, or not the grays so much as hybrids. But I've been on ships with humans. I've been on a spacecraft, a warship when it was being hit, uh, and battle stations, and it's. I've been on a huge support ship. It wasn't a warship or anything, but it for maintenance and moving cargo and
Yeah.
equipment and things. Very real, and it's like sometimes I'm part of the crew, sometimes I'm just an out-of-body traveler popping in, and sometimes I'm part of the officers. One of the officers on board. Depends on which things. Uh, but in any of those realms, it's not like I'm looking outside and seeing the stars and the galaxies out there. So what's going on really? You get this idea of belief system territory, but it could be huge and it becomes speculation and an assumption, and it plays out however you think it will. What you think it is, it makes it so.
Yeah.
There's so many different variations on creation and experience and what is real, what is reality, and dimensional planes and densities and vibrational frequencies, places to tune into the multiverse. So it can just be all kinds of ways. And with that said, I often go into it seems like to be a realm, and it could be a big city. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's fascinating. Or it could be a little neighborhood, just regular old houses. And I go, this isn't a very nice neighborhood. Just kind of, no grass. The grass is dead, and the paint on the houses is old and faded, and the bushes are dead. Really. I go, is there another version of this? What if I increased my vibration? And right there, while I was standing in this realm, I increased my spiritual vibration. And it was just like in these movies you see the old dried up dead place magical spell, and it all becomes beautiful and lush, just like that. And it was me making the vibrational shift just with intention. So you can do it too. Anybody can do this if it occurs to them and they practice at it, and they get fluid in their ability to shift consciousness and things like that, which you can learn how to do it out of body boot camp over OBE boot camp at Rich2150x. Just saying. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Which reminds me of one of the UBs I had as well. Like, it's very similar to yours, but me and a group of others like landed in this plane, and it's like looks pretty bad. Like it's a pretty bad condition, and I'm pretty known for being a warrior and like always going into these devastated planes. And so here we are, like 5 of us are in there, and like one of us has like this holographic scanner, and like they're showing like levels, like vibration and frequencies, and like we have all this, and how it works and where this plane is, and like the level of it, and like we're like looking at this, and we all sort of like do this energy work and like lifting our vibrations and stuff. And so we just like to experiment. We're like they're showing us what would happen and how we can affect the plane. So all of us start working towards it, and right away the planet starts like getting back in shape. And instead of like deserts, like mountains rise up and there's forests and rivers and stuff, and like it looks beautiful. And then they're like, okay, now let's change it up, and we're going lowering. So we got into worse where it was just like a ball of fire,
Wow.
Yeah, and we're like changing it up, like seeing how we can affect the whole plane, and that's pretty neat. Like just having this whole holographic meter and showing how it changes with our energies and stuff, and how much power we have to affect things. So that's like pretty eye-opening, Ruby.
Yeah, that is so deep. And I love that because it helps broaden one's perspective of what reality really is and how it works, and how universes and planes and dimensions, how they work, how they're created, how they're affected, how they change, and our relationship with those. We create them, we tweak them, we change them. We can move through time on time streams, and in forward in time, backward in time. All these things we can do.